Hello, everybody, and welcome to the return of Frameloss. This is episode 10, and it's good to be back. We,
It's awesome to be back.
yeah, we took a pretty massive break. Uh, so, what happened? Let's just jump right into what happened. So, we had this show, it was called Frameloss. It was pretty sweet. We were getting all the ratings. Then, one of our hosts decided he wanted to go join Space Camp. So, B Pants, as you can tell, is not with us right now because he's currently at Space Camp. What is it? Camp Rogers? Uh, is it in Colorado?
Yeah, Colorado.
Yeah. So he's at Space Camp. He might return at some point, but he might go to space too. So we don't know. Uh,
Last I heard, he was stuck in that machine that like rotates to
he's
simulate.
stuck in it.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. That thing goes really fast.
Yep.
So with losing B Pants, we also lost the studio. So that's why we're like we are now in the webcam setting. It's not ideal, but the show must go on. What, 2 months later?
I don't like to put labels on things. I don't
Okay.
like to label time frames. We took a sabbatical.
We took a much needed break
Yeah.
from all the fandom and
Being famous is hard.
yeah, that's true. So this is kind of a different show. We're gonna just talk about like what we've been doing for the last couple months. Obviously, we went to PAX. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about E3, which is in 3 days.
3 days. It depends on how you count it. Monday. It's Monday.
Yeah, it is Monday. So we're gonna talk about E3. We have a review for you. What are you reviewing?
I will be reviewing Murdered Soul Suspect.
That's a well thought out choice that came out this week on I think every console.
Everyone that matters, at least.
Yeah, you played it on. What did you play it on?
I played it on the PC
Okay.
using the Xbox controller, not the PC controls.
Okay.
I can also review the first 10 minutes of Watch Dogs.
We will discuss Watch Dogs. You are not allowed to review it.
You can't tell me what to do.
We're also going to talk about what was that other game? Oh, I wanted to talk about Wolfenstein really quick. I have a review coming for it. I have all the footage recorded, but I haven't uploaded yet. But I can talk about it briefly. I'm just going to do that now.
Cool. Yeah.
Wolfenstein is the reason all my Bethesda hate like comes to light. If you've watched the show, you know I can't stand Bethesda. They couldn't program their way out of a paper bag. They rely on the public to do all their QA testing. It's atrocious how they get away with it, but it is what it is. Wolfenstein is no different. There's a lot of issues with the game.
Well, you already said it was developed by Bethesda, so
Yeah,
there's no need to repeat yourself.
yeah. But if you like for the full review, I'll have that video up on our YouTube channel, which you can see like down there, I think.
YouTube.com/Frameloss videos.
Yes. So, what have you been doing since the breakup of Brandon and Space Camp?
Man, let me just take a peek at my games really quick to see. I got the Final Fantasy X HD remake. I got Final Fantasy 13. I've been chipping away at those because I don't really have a ton of will to play them.
It's hard to play some of those old RPG remasters because you get in, you remember it, and then you're like, I already played this. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
there's new
It's like
stuff out now.
I've already beaten it, and like I do want to go back and I've never played 10-2 beyond like the first 10-15 minutes of it. So like I want to get to that, but I want to play 10 before I to brush up on the story and everything.
Yeah.
I did Octodad. I've been playing that.
I still have yet to play that. I don't know what I'm waiting for.
It's really good. I got Arkham Origins. I'm about halfway through that. I've been playing a lot of Crusader Kings and a lot of Europa Universalis, which are these like grand strategy games that I'm pretty terrible at. I went through a brief romance with old CRPGs that I'm still going through, like Baldur's Gate, Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah, I saw you playing those.
Steamworks. Oh, what was it? It's Arcanum, Steamworks of Magic and Obscura or something. It's I don't know. It's just really it's from that same time frame. And everything. It's really good. It's really good. Really underrated game. If people like those, isometric computer RPGs from the mid '90s, I definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
How about you? What have you been up to?
So I've stopped since our last episode. All three of us were playing WoW. I have stopped doing that.
Yeah, I
wiped
haven't
my
been on
hands
WoW.
clean of WoW.
I haven't been on WoW in a while. I probably won't go back until
Yeah, the expansion.
the expansion.
I probably won't go back to the expansion. I don't have time for an MMO right now. There's too much going on in gaming. I've been playing. So I played Infamous. Infamous came out. That was awesome. I think I burned through that game the first 2 nights. I went through on the dark side, and then immediately I started a new campaign on expert difficulty, and just blasted through that on the good side. That game was a ton of fun. I played Bound by Flame on the PS4. It's not the most polished game. It was a $40 title. It's kind of reminiscent of like Dark Souls and like The Witcher, like that style of combat. The voice acting is really terrible, but the gameplay is actually really fun. So if you need a PS4 game right now, Bound by Flame is definitely, I'd say, worth it for $40.
It sounds more like a new metal band than a RPG.
Yeah.
That's not a knock against it. It's just an observation.
I got Titanfall, and I've played that maybe 20 hours. It was really fun the first week, and then I kind of it's one of those games where it's like, oh, I've got 20 minutes to kill. I'll fire up a match, play it once, move it to the side again.
Yeah, that's how I feel about all those games. Not just not Medal of Honor, Battlefield and Call of Duty and stuff. I go hard at them, and then 2 weeks later, it'll be like, oh, I guess I'll play every now and then, and I'm always kicking myself.
I mean, I'm happy with the purchase. I'm glad I have that game to fall back on because I don't have another shooter right now. But it didn't pull me in like I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
I went pretty hard on Dark Souls 2.
I tried Dark Souls 1 for the first time while we were on break, and I just could not get to. I didn't even keep dying. I just there was so little guidance that I was like, man, this is just. So I'll probably try Dark Souls 2 at some point on the PS. Do you have it on the PS4, right?
No,
PS3.
Yeah.
Okay, even better. So I'll probably try it. I was just Dark Souls 1. My character moved so slowly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game you gotta really kind of dive into. It has no direction, so you have to learn everything as you go. So what else? So we went to PAX. That happened.
Yeah, that was awesome. It was my first PAX.
That was your first PAX. I've been to every PAX East there's been. I thought it was a pretty decent show. It was definitely better than last year, I thought.
I don't know.
Yeah, you have nothing to show on it.
Yeah. I think it was way better than what I did at that time last year.
What did you play that you took away from that?
Let me try to remember what I played. I was a little. I would say honestly the best game I played was either Octodad or the Age of Mythology 2 extended edition.
Okay, yep.
I didn't play a ton of games. I was more interested in the panels and.
Yeah, you went pretty hard on the panels.
Yeah, it's so expensive that I don't want to spend too much time playing games that I'm gonna get to play eventually anyway, as opposed to they do the events and stuff that I'm only gonna get to do during PAX.
That makes sense.
The Royal Rumble panel on Sunday with Giant Bomb and Harmonix and guests was pretty much. I honestly think I would have paid half my ticket price alone just for that. It was a lot of fun. And I got Planetary Annihilation out of it. I got a free copy of that too. So it's double good.
I was wondering how you were going to sneak something wrestling related into this episode. And you didn't disappoint.
I made it 10 minutes into the episode before my first wrestling reference.
Yeah, I did 2 panels. I did the localization of Japanese games, which was really interesting. I liked that panel a lot.
Kyle, why don't you just learn Japanese?
Yeah.
Or deal with it.
I mean, that's an option if I've got another 4 years to go. I did the Live on 3 panel, obviously, because it's just esports, and that was worth the ticket price alone for me, was that panel.
I will say one thing about one my biggest complaint about PAX it was the Riot booth. And I understand League of Legends is a huge popular game. I get everyone loves it. I don't knock it. I play League of Legends every now and then. I really like it. That booth sucked. There was no control around it. People were clogging up every possible like aisle and stairway near it. I couldn't have been more upset about that booth. I wanted to just burn it to the ground.
I was really glad at the placement of the booth, because other years that booth has been not in like a corner.
It's just been like in the middle.
Yeah.
Ugh, gross.
It's been way worse. I didn't really have a problem with it because I don't think there was really anything over there for me. I
ended up walking by it a bunch of times. It was my like the first couple days that I was wandering around. I just always ended up in that area, walking by it and taking 15 minutes to move past it. I did get a bunch of free League of Legends stuff every time I went by it, but I wasn't even playing at the time. So at the time, I was like, "This is bullshit."
Yeah, I played a bunch of little indie games. I played Galaxy, which I'm really excited for. Like, it's an old style like space adventure shooter, really fun.
I like it's like the indie micro booth, or it's like all the indie devs like pool their money to buy one booth space. It's really cool. I like it. I liked it a lot. I got to see a bunch of games that I don't think I would have even paid attention to.
Yep.
Let alone played.
I saw, what else did I do? I played The Crew. I was really impressed with The Crew. That was one of the games I was going into where when they showed it at the E3 last year, I was really excited for it, but I didn't understand if they actually meant that you could drive from one end of the country to the other. And during my playthrough of the game, like, they have someone there that you can ask questions to and whatnot. And I was just like, can you, like, how accurate is that? Like, can I drive from, like, LA to New York? And they were like, yeah, it'll take you about 2 hours real time to get from one end of the country to the other. Which sounds really quick, but in a game,
sitting there for 2 hours driving. Yeah, I'll probably stream that right away. That's probably going to be the first thing I do in that game, honestly.
I was really excited to hear that, so, like, that game's definitely on my, like, I'm going to pre-order, like, list.
Yep. You waited in line for Evolve.
I spent a lot of time at that Evolve booth. So I ended up leaving with every piece of merch that company had to give, except for the headband.
A couple of pieces of merch that they weren't even giving away.
Yeah, like I wanted that headband so bad, but I didn't get it. But Evolve really impressed me. The way they had their line set up was probably one of the best booths I've ever seen at PAX. Like, it was super organized. They were cutting it off when they needed to, so the line wasn't, like, out of control. They were moving people through really fast. What you did was, like, you'd go through the line, you'd watch a video that would explain all the classes and the monster. You'd leave that video area, then you would be assigned a role. Like, I got Trapper, I think Brandon got Medic, and then you got into this, like, 5-line queue where you stood with all your fellow Trappers, and, like, you went down the line, then you got to play, and it was you versus the monster. And it was really fun. They had a guy standing with you that would, like, coach the hunters, and they had one coaching the monster. Everything was on, like, the big screen. It looked really nice. I am definitely getting that game when it comes out. I think that game has some legs to it.
I always am so wishy-washy on, like, it looks so awesome, and then it's just like it's so dependent on the multiplayer scene that I'll definitely check it out. But
it has legs on it if the community, like, accepts it. They also had this really awesome app that I hope they release, that it's like post-game, it shows you all the movement on the map in this, like, little grid. It shows you where all the hunters went, like, where they died on the map. And that could be, like, super useful for, like, developing strategies for maps.
Yeah, definitely.
So I really hope that they release that. I talked with them about it, and they said that they were just using it for the show floor. But I really hope it's something that they, like, put out later.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they can always, I've heard people say things like that, and then it gets such a good response that.
Yep.
One game I forgot I checked out was let's see if I can remember the name of it now. Man, what is it called? It was that game that's you play as a mage and you have the two.
That was at the Bethesda. Lichdom. Yeah,
Lichtum. Yeah. I played that. That was a lot of fun. It was a lot harder than I thought it would be, given like they did the same style of introduction as what you were describing the Valve. They brought you in, you watched a video, you watched someone play, and then they bring you out and you play for a little bit. And it looked super easy. I thought I was gonna just run train on it, and then it was just not, like, in a good way. It was not easy. So I'm really excited for that. I was playing Skyrim the other day, and my girlfriend thought that I was playing Lichdom, and she was like, when did this come out? Ah!
Yeah, I didn't play it, but I watched like the screen and I watched people play it, and it looked really neat. I also saw Evil Within. You didn't get to play it. What they did was they brought like groups of like 30 or 40 into this theater, and then you watched someone play it. And they played through like 2 different levels and showed you different parts of the game. A lot of people were walking out of the booth really upset because of how the graphics are. Think of Resident Evil 4, like the water, like when you splash, like it looks really bad, like it's blocky.
Oh,
like,
wow.
The splashing looks awful. The blood splatter is really like crappy and like blocky in the same sense. Like some of the things look really campy, but I feel like they're there like not necessarily on purpose, but to give it that more like old school horror feel.
Yeah.
It's made by like one of the original Resident Evil creators, so like it looks like a Resident Evil title with that like super campy like feel to it.
That's pretty cool. Like, if that's what they're going for, then that's awesome. If that's just what they ended up with, then I don't know if I like it as much.
I think it visually was pleasing to me because it made me feel like I was watching like Resident Evil 4. And even though those graphics are super dated, like the character models in the game don't look bad. Like some of the environments don't look like old like PS2 like era. Like everything looks new. It's just little things that like are really campy.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to reserve judgment until it comes out, and I actually can get in and play it.
Yep.
So yeah, that was PAX. PAX was awesome. I'll definitely be going again next year.
This was the first year I got a hotel, and I highly recommend doing that every year.
Yeah, dude, I don't know how you weren't getting a hotel.
Because I live close enough that I was like, oh, I can just drive all 3 days.
But you don't live close enough.
I live relatively close. It's like 45 minutes.
I stayed at my mom's, who lives like 15 minutes from Boston, and even that was like miserable doing that.
Yeah. I'm definitely getting a hotel next year.
Yeah.
Like that is now a thing I have to do because of how much better
once
the event
you
was.
do it, you can't go back.
Yeah. I also spent way less money than I thought I would this year, which was also pretty good because I went in thinking I was going to spend a lot.
I'm trying to remember how much I spent. I think I spent way less than I definitely did, because I went to Seattle. I went to Emerald City Comic Con like the week before that or something, so I had no money left to spend.
Yep.
That's all right.
You did do that. You went to 2 cons like rapid fire.
Yeah, I went hard. There was a couple others I would have gone to if I was rich also.
Now we got to go to that was the other thing. There were games announced there too. The Civilization I don't even remember the name of the title. I'm not a Civ guy. The space one, like the Alpha Centauri, like
Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri. Yeah.
Yeah, that was announced during the event, and like Bethesda or not Bethesda, like the Gearbox.
They announced
the 2K booth had like Civ posters to give away. They had like 250 of them.
They announced Borderlands, the pre-sequel. Right.
Yep. I think was that announced there or was it just shown there?
I thought it was announced there, but I could definitely be wrong.
I don't remember.
It would not be the first time I've been wrong.
I'm not a Borderlands guy.
Yeah. What were the other ones? Oh, they weren't announced during that though. I was gonna say Telltale stuff, but we actually covered that on an episode of Frameloss.
Yep, that was earlier.
That's how long it's been. I'm actually actively forgetting things that we've talked about.
So one of the reasons we wanted to do this show tonight, it's a weird night to do it, is we need to find a new night to do the show. So we're workshopping some nights. I think we're going to go with Wednesday. This was just a special one because E3 is next week. How excited are you for E3?
I'm more excited than I have been in the past couple years. I usually get pretty stoked on it every time there's like a fresh console generation. So like last year I was a little stoked, but like nothing was out yet. Now that things are out, this is like the upcoming year is going to be the big years for the consoles as they start to build and develop. That's what I get really into. That's when I start really paying attention. So
yeah, I'm really excited for it. Like you said, like with the new console, the consoles are 6 months old now, something like that.
yep,
So
right around that.
this event should be all games. Like I don't want to hear about like hardware features. I don't want to hear about apps. I mean, they're definitely going to talk about apps, but I don't care. I just want games from.
Well, I have good news for you then, Kyle. Sony has announced that they will have 70 games that will be shown at its booth on the show floor.
Did that just get announced? Because I haven't seen that.
Yep, that is breaking news.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. That makes me more excited. That makes my prediction for the night, no, my number one prediction, might be more plausible.
Well, I don't see it on the list. I don't know what it is, also, but what I assume it is, I don't see it on the list.
Wait, they have a list of all 70?
They do.
That's intense.
Yep.
I don't.
Let me run through it real quick and just see if I could pick out any of the big ones. They'll have Kingdom Hearts HD 2.5. They'll have Killzone. They'll have Drive Club. They'll have let's see, Guilty Gear, Zerd, XR.
Yeah, I'm interested in the Guilty Gear.
They'll have Project Cars, which is
What the hell is Project Cars?
Project Cars is that car game, the racing game that's like super.
Yeah.
Like, they'll have
hyper-realistic.
They'll have the Order 1886. They'll have the Crew. I mean, these are not all of them. Also, for the record, I'm just picking the big ones out of the list. Yeah. Again, they said there's going to be 70 plus titles.
Okay, well, the plus
playable.
still leaves me to believe that my game could still be there. Because I hope that list isn't just everything, and it's like, well, there's no surprises. Go.
Yeah, there's always surprises.
So I'm really interested to see what Sony says. I'm super interested to see what Microsoft says, because I have an Xbox One. I own. What do I own? I own Killer Instinct because it was free.
Peggle.
I bought Peggle 2, and I bought Halo Spartan Assault. I need a game for that system. Sunset Overdrive.
Forza, bro.
I'm pumped about. I want to get Forza, but at the same time, like I don't want to get Forza because now it's old. Now, like it's old news. It's yesterday's business. And they've already,
if you say so,
they've already announced new Forza stuff coming. So
well, they've announced Forza Horizon 2, but
Yeah.
Forza Horizon is a different series,
Yeah.
according to Forza.
Yep.
They also announced that they will continue expanding the Forza universe brand, whatever you want to call it, to possibly a third title as well.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I'm
a big Forza fan. I don't like the sound of that.
I think I'm being like too babied with this like free games for like having people services, because like I got my fingers crossed that like once the Xbox One free games kick in, which they just did.
The games with gold, you mean?
Yeah, the games with gold.
Yeah.
They just kicked in for Xbox One. One of the games they gave away I already own, so kudos to me. But I'm hoping, like, fingers crossed, that next month maybe they give away Forza, because they already give it away with the console when you buy it now. So,
but then why would they give it away for games of gold?
For people who already had it that don't.
I don't know. That I feel like that would get a lot of blowback from people who bought it.
It won't get blowback from me, and that's who I care about in this scenario. I want it, but I don't want to pay $60 for it.
I would say that is fair, given that it's 6 months old. Yeah. But I would not cross your fingers for Forza 5.
Right. That's why I'm holding out until possibly a new Forza. Also, Nintendo. I'm super interested in their Nintendo Direct because they've got a lot they need to show.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely, like you said, they have a lot they need to show. I don't know how much they're going to show.
I don't either.
But they have a lot of ground to cover.
They're doing a whole like worldwide Smash Brothers event during the Nintendo Direct thing, which it's interesting. Like it's a tournament for the new Smash Brothers game.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, it's weird. Is it happening at Best Buy again, or is that?
Yeah. Yeah,
so
Nintendo
weird.
and Best Buy are like they're like this.
I don't get it.
I don't get why they're having like a global tournament for a game that's like not out yet. So people, if it's different at all, like people aren't going to be like it's not going to be entertaining to watch.
Well,
Like
don't
you'll just
worry.
see new characters.
It won't be too different because they've already announced that they have the Wii U to GameCube controller adapter.
I actually liked that because that somewhat shows that they at least care about that scene a little bit. uh, yeah, like I don't get it. I also don't get why the 3DS version is coming out like 6 months before the Wii U version. That's also weird.
Yeah, that's Nintendo.
Yeah. So that's Tuesday. Like they're not actually at E3. They're doing their own private thing. Like,
Yeah, it's so sweet. So sweet.
they weren't at PAX either. Like I feel like
Nintendo doesn't like video games.
I understand that they're in this like regrowth process where they have to like redo their company since they're at such a loss right now. But you still should have a public presence.
Yeah.
Like you still need to go to where your fans are and be like, hey, like I know we got nothing right now, but we do care about you. Like here's stuff like you should be getting excited about.
We will have something eventually.
Yeah, like they weren't at PAX. They could have been at PAX with Mario Kart. Like that would have been cool. I probably would have played it.
It definitely makes me wonder how much dev time like goes into it. If they, were they, I don't know, was it like rushed out Mario Kart? Was this something that they just like, I don't know. It's just a weird thing that they wouldn't have it at PAX.
Yeah, like I've played Mario Kart. I like it. I think it's the best Mario Kart since 64. Like I think it's a huge improvement to the last iterations of it.
I haven't played a Mario Kart game since Double Dash, so
Double Dash sucked.
no, Double Dash was really good.
Double Dash was not a good game. But it's like they need something. They need to show something. They need to stop pushing back the only game I care about, which is Bayonetta, which was supposed to be out last year, and they just keep pushing it back. Hopefully they show it this year.
It's never coming out.
I'm hoping it doesn't come out on the Wii U, and I'm hoping that it gets moved to an actual adult console that knows how to market themselves.
Like the Ouya?
Yeah. That was hard to keep a straight face.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Ouya.
Why? God.
Because it's just no one else is.
The buttons on the controller are OUYA.
No one else is talking about it.
Someone's
gotta love it. It's an Android thing. Like, how did they not see that like flopping? And the fact that Mad Catz is still coming out with one after the failure.
That's the crazy part, is that they're still like, no, we're doing it.
Yeah. But back well.
No, I have no idea.
Yeah. Back to Nintendo. Like, I'd really like to see them do good. I don't want them to drop out of the race. Like, I want for all consoles to be in this happy little like love tree where they're all doing really good stuff, and I want to be a good gamer. But it's hard to back them when they're just like sticking their foot in their mouth.
I want Solid Snake in Super Smash Brothers again. That's what I want.
I have nothing on that. So, do you want to run down our predictions for the show?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I have honorable mentions, which you didn't like at all.
I mean, it's a top 5 predictions, and then you come at me and you're like, I got 2 extras.
I had some that I wanted to say that I didn't want in my top 5 because I don't trust them.
That's the whole point of a top 5, is you have to be discerning.
These
you
two
have choices to make.
I have 2 unofficial ones in my top 5 that don't count if I get them wrong.
That don't count.
Yeah.
Gonna say them, but they're not real.
Yeah.
All right, well, lay those on me. I only have the allotted 5. I played by the rules.
Okay. Number 1 honorable mention is Project Beast is Demon Souls 2, and it will be PS4 only.
I don't even know what Project Beast is.
Project Beast is the new
it's
From
Demon
Software
Souls 2,
game.
apparently.
Yeah, it's Demon Souls. I think it's Demon Souls 2. So that's my honorable mention. And then my other honorable mention is that Xbox One will announce a rare title, possibly Perfect Dark.
I'm with you on the rare title. not on Perfect Dark.
What title do you think that would? Is that on your actual list or?
No. This is just thinking. It was something that almost made it onto my list.
Okay.
So,
see, that's why mine's an honorable mention.
well, I left it off though because I'm not confident in it. So
Right, that's why it's an honorable mention. I'm not confident in it, but I think it could happen.
I think there's going to be another Banjo-Kazooie game announced.
I know a lot of people who would be excited for that. I don't understand the appeal of Banjo-Kazooie.
I mean, I don't
personally.
I don't want it to be Nuts and Bolts too. Nuttier and Boltier. I don't want that.
That's the best name. You just sealed that.
I would like a return to form for. I mean, I had Nuts and Bolts. I played it for about 2 hours, and I was just like, man,
you shouldn't tell
this is
people.
not the same game.
I don't know many people who like that game.
It just wasn't. It was a different. It wasn't Banjo and Kazooie. It was a Banjo and Kazooie like reskin of a different game. So,
do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I will go. I'll go first because you had honorable mentions.
Okay.
So my number 5 prediction is that Microsoft will show Halo 5 gameplay footage.
That is a bold prediction, since that is not coming out till fall of next year.
Yep, I think it'll be rough footage, but
it has to be in game. Like, it can't be like Master Chief standing on a cliff with a dumb ship flying over his head.
Yeah, no.
And then
no
like
cinematics.
Thing pans up and it's like, oh, Master Chief.
I don't think it'll be a full demo, but I think there will be first-person shooting.
Okay. That's a bold one.
I guess that's a better way to say it. Because if they cinematic the first-person shooting, then I'm still gonna count it.
That's a little. I mean, I'll take it, but that's a little pushing it. I'm looking at my number 5 and I'm thinking it should have been an honorable mention because I really have nothing to go on for this. I just think it'll happen.
Gut feeling counts.
Yeah, it's Nintendo will show a Metroid title at Nintendo Direct.
I was considering that. I think that they are going to. If I had to guess, it would be a Metroid title for the 3DS.
For the 3DS,
Yep.
They need Wii U games.
Yeah, I mean that's true, but I mean, okay, knowing what you know about Nintendo, saying they need Wii U games, doesn't that lend even more like credo to the fact that they will be putting it on 3DS?
Yeah.
It's like we really need a top title on the Wii U. Let's put Metroid on the 3DS.
Yeah. I'll okay.
That's not in my predictions or anything, but it was something that I was thinking about.
Okay.
So. My number 4 prediction is that Fallout 4 will be announced.
You just went hard, like, on bold predictions.
That's
I feel like I played it super safe.
I care about our viewers, Kyle. I give them the hard-hitting, edgy predictions that they want to hear.
I mean, Bethesda aside, I would be shocked if they show it.
They're not gonna like. It's not gonna be anything. It's just gonna be the logo.
Yeah, it's just gonna say it'll be like a shot of like a guy throwing tea into the river, and it'll be like Fallout 4 Boston Tea Party.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
something stupid like that.
Boston Tea Massacre. Okay.
What's your number 4?
I say you're going really bold, but my number 4, looking at it now, is pretty bold. Skate 4.
Oh my god!
Announced.
What?
So it's been 4 years since Skate 3 came out, and not too long ago they just shut down the Skate 3 forums. Could this mean a new title is on the way?
That seems like the opposite of.
No, because they did that with Skate 2 too. They shut down those forums, and then Skate 3 was announced.
That's weird. That's a weird way to do that.
It's super weird, but EA's not the brightest.
Yeah. I mean, that does lend evidence to it.
There's also no other skateboarding games really on the market at all right now. So it's the perfect time for EA to just jump in and be like, Skate 4, it's back. It won't be by Black Box because they shut them down.
I was going to say, Black Box doesn't exist, so that'll be kind of tough. But
well, it won't be tough. Like, they'll just have someone else, like, puzzle piece code together. And
gross.
I'd be hyped for that game.
I really like the skate game, so I don't want to see them butchered.
But I think right now is the perfect time for a new Skate to come out. Because there's nothing.
All right. All right.
extreme sport games.
I can get behind that, as opposed to Kelly Slater's Pro Server 2.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 3 prediction is Mass Effect 4.
I think that'll happen.
I think it's been long enough. I think it'll be significantly after the events of Mass Effect 3, but it will tie into the canon somehow.
Which ending do you think will be canon on Mass Effect 3? The red one, the green one, or the blue one?
Whatever the one that was like the downloadable one, because the other two sucked.
Okay.
I didn't even beat the game. I'll be totally honest. I didn't even beat the game because there was so much blowback against the two endings that I made it like to the last like the beginning of like disc 3 or however many discs there were. I don't even remember. But there was so much blowback against the games that I was like, man, I don't even care. Like I don't even want to beat these games now.
Yeah.
So I don't remember the ending specifically. I know the red one was like,
I think the red one was the DLC one.
maybe the red one was like the good one and the blue one was the bad one. I think
was-
the green one was the DLC
Maybe.
because red and blue is like the
I
whole.
just
Mass
want to
Effect
point out how
thing.
lame this conversation is. That the red one, the blue one, or the green one was the good ending.
Well, yeah, that's my fault for not remembering. It's like you take them over, you destroy them, or you like merge with them.
Yeah.
I think I don't
Okay.
remember.
My number 3. This one's playing it a little safe. Street Fighter will be announced for the next gen consoles. Mad Catz.
Boo!
Why is that boo? Why is that boo?
That's a given. That's not a prediction.
That's
just
a prediction. It's not hasn't been confirmed
Boo!
anywhere. Do you have confirmation anywhere?
yeah.
No.
The Mad Cat stick has a PS4 button.
Right, but that could be for another game. That could be for Guilty Gear.
No.
That could be for any other.
The Street
that could
Fighter
be for
Ultra
Mortal
4.
Crap Bet.
The Street Fighter 4 Ultra stick is not for another game. Boo.
So Mad Catz just announced the fight stick as he's yelling about.
Why wouldn't that be an honorary mention? God damn it.
Because it's not official yet.
Boo.
The stick comes out in August, the same time that the retail box for Ultra comes out. The digital's out right now. So if the retail's coming out and the stick's coming out at the same time, it just makes sense.
I agree 100%.
Mass Effect 4 was basically a boo. That's definitely going to happen.
You don't know. I mean, that's more up in the air than the game that was confirmed by pictures of a fight stick. Boo. Boo. Boo this man.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 prediction is that a new Uncharted game will be announced.
That's basically confirmed. You can't boo me. You're like, oh, they're going to talk about Uncharted. Obviously,
They're going to announce a game.
Obviously, they're going to announce a game. They've been quiet for so long.
I think they're going to announce a
You
game.
should
It's
get
gonna
all
be-
the boos for that. Uncharted 4.
Yeah. Better than Street Fighter is what that prediction was.
My number 2.
Yeah, what's your number 2?
PS3 price drop will happen. I think the cheapest model will be dropped down to $179.99. Sony likes doing really weird price marks for their drop downs. So 180 looks really good to a consumer for a system like that. So I think it's going to drop to 180.
I got really excited because I thought, in my mind, you said PS4.
No, there won't
And then I'm
be a
listening to the
PS4.
prices, and I'm like, none of this makes sense.
PS3 price drop, and the price drop will be live immediately after E3. Like it's gonna just be like boom.
Oh, that's a bold prediction.
Right now, mostly only Japanese studios are making PS3 games, and major titles are also kind of porting down
Yep.
to the other system.
FIFA, I think, is the first big one that's going to be the downport as opposed to the upport that it was last year.
Right. So I'm guessing. I don't think they're going to spend a lot of time on PS3. I think they're going to spend less time on the Vita. But during the PS3 thing, they will announce a price drop, and I'm betting it's 180.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Okay, my number
If your
one
number 1 is the same as me, I'm going to be
E3
pissed.
prediction. I don't know if it's one word or 3 words. Ooga bugga. Crash Bandicoot.
Yours is not mine. I'm really excited now.
Thank goodness. I think that they will announce in some form of Crash Bandicoot. I think it's going to be a Crash Bandicoot like HD collection thing that they have like for all the other.
That is
titles.
a really bold prediction.
It's been
because like you're basically saying one of your two predictions is void.
Void?
Is void. Because Naughty Dog is not going to come out and announce Uncharted and then be like, oh yeah, we're also splitting our team's resources and working on Crash Bandicoot as well.
That's the other thing. I think Crash Bandicoot is already done. I think they've been working on that since before
in secret?
the PS4. Yeah. I think they've been working on that since before the PS4.
They're in a secret lab, like stacking crates and like watching a dude jump on them and spin.
Yep. So you've seen the videos then?
Yeah.
Of them. Yeah.
I
think I remember seeing stuff all the way back in the PS4 like promo things that like seem to be hinting at Crash. So I think that I think the Crash Bandicoot will be an announcement that is then like, you know, coming like July, coming August.
I'd be pumped for a new Crash. Would it be a $60 title?
No, I think all the HD collections are $40.
Oh wait, are you saying it's an HD collection of old Crashes, or it's a new Crash?
Yeah, it's going to be the 3 Crash games.
I can see that more than a new Crash.
Yeah. I think it's going to be the HD collection. $40 for the Crash.
Okay. I just feel like the day of the console like mascot platformer is kind of coming to an end.
You say that, but they did the HD remake they did the HD collections for Ratchet and Clank. They did it for Jak and Daxter. They did it for Spyro, I think. Maybe not Spyro. Maybe the Spyro ones I have are just the PSX games. God of War, which I left off my list, but will probably happen.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll announce the Crash HD collect. I'd be pumped for it. But
yeah, I would be. That would be an instant buy.
It's a bold prediction, especially with Naughty Dog also being on another game you predicted.
I'm telling you, it's done.
It's done? Okay.
It's done.
My number one E3 prediction, which I'll just cry. Like, I'll just break down and just cry all night if this comes true. Last Guardian will be shown. It will be announced that the reason the game has been silent for, like, all these years, it was shown at E3, like, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It hasn't been talked about since. There was like, a developer, like, left. Then he came back. I think the whole reason for all of this is because the game was moved to PS4 development right after that year's
right
end.
After the E3.
Right after that E3, it was moved to PS4 development, and they're going to announce that it's going to be available this fall.
I would freak out. I would lose my mind if that.
Last Guardian, fall 2014. I'm calling it now. PS4, not PS3.
That would be awesome. I would be really, really, really excited for that announcement.
I feel like if they announce it, and they say it's PS3, I'm going to be kind of bummed. If they announce it for PS4 and say fall next year,
man, I don't want to wait a year for a game that's been in 5 years of development.
That crowd will eat them alive.
Yeah.
It needs to be fall 2014. I'll pre-order it that day. I'll run to GameStop and put the money down. Collector's edition, who cares? Like, I want that now.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
So
I think those are some good predictions.
Yeah, I think you got away scot-free on some of those, and you called me out on some that weren't really appropriate.
We will we'll announce the winner of our 2 who got the most right on the next show, which will be post E3.
Yes. I'm thinking possibly we do an early show Tuesday, because then everything's done.
Dude, you know the deal with Tuesdays.
I know.
I can't say it on the air because it's lame.
It's pretty lame. But we'll discuss that later. We will have info for you guys on when the next show is. But so you have a review to do.
I do.
And it's for a game that I didn't play. I wasn't super interested in it.
I forgot this game was coming out. I shouldn't say I forgot it was coming out. I didn't know it was coming out so soon. That's a better way to put it.
I feel like it came out like super just under the radar. Like
Yeah.
no one knew it was coming, and it was just it's out today. Like
I
okay.
remember seeing it at PAX and being like, oh yeah, it's like I have to remember that game next year when it comes out.
Yeah.
And then it's just like here. Whew. So I am a big fan of like mystery games, detective games. I think they're a lot of fun. I like being challenged like that. I thought this was a really unique, not necessarily unique plot. I've seen the solve your own murder games before, but definitely unique unique play style. Being the ghost going through things, the third person, full 3D.
I'm going to play the trailer and then we can go into your review.
Okay.
So let's show people the wolf. Not the wolf.
The wolf.
The wolf among us. We're just going to switch it up. Like, This is murdered soul aspect. Soul suspect, not
soul
aspect.
Suspect. God.
You grow up on the streets, you start thinking you're invincible. Nothing can touch you. You never really lose. Go to arrest some freak, find out you aren't as invincible as you thought.
So, tell me about the game. That trailer was really short.
Yeah, that was a really quick trailer. So the game starts with you being thrown out of the window, which is what you saw in that teaser there. You get thrown out of the...
Real quick, do you care if I throw a video over this?
No, go.
Well, you just
no,
talk about
totally,
it so
totally.
they can see.
Yeah, I want
the
people
game.
to see the gameplay and stuff while I'm talking about it.
Okay.
Definitely. You get thrown out of a window at the very beginning of the game. You land on the ground. You die. That's how it starts. So you come up and you are a ghost, and you have to slowly, as you play, you discover more of your ghost powers. You can possess people and read their mind. You can possess people and influence their actions. You can teleport to places, like just zap across the like small portions of the map. So there's not a ton. Those are all the ghost powers, but you do a lot with them. There's puzzle stuff to do with them.
Okay.
Story-wise, you're solving your own murder. You get killed by this guy known as the Bell Killer, because he paints like a bell on wherever, not necessarily always the ground, but he puts like this bell shape on things near him. Now, I don't want to spoil like anything about the game, but it takes place in Salem, Mass. It's there's a lot of obviously there's witch stuff and ghost stuff. That's why they put it there in the first place. I thought the story was a little weak at the end. It's weird. Usually we wait a little longer before reviewing games so we can talk about them more openly. This game just came out, so I don't want to spoil it for anyone. I thought the end was like, it definitely was a surprise, but it was a weak surprise, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It was a little twist.
Yeah, it was a quick game. It was a quick play. I beat it over the course of 3 days, playing maybe 2 or 3 hours a day. So 9 to 10 hours of gameplay. Or 8 to 10, I should say, of gameplay. And it felt more like an interactive movie than a full-fledged video game.
Okay.
Which, it was fun. It was enjoyable.
Did you play the game Ghost Trick for the DS?
Yep, that was immediately what I thought of.
This game, it reminds me of a like 3D Ghost Trick.
Yep. That was exactly what I was thinking of when I was saying that this scenario has been done before.
Okay, I thought Ghost Trick was phenomenal.
Yeah, same. I thought Ghost Trick was a really good game. So I would say that the biggest draw of this game is the story. I give the story 7 out of 10.
Okay.
7. Man, I don't even know what to give it. I don't even know what I'm ranking it in.
Spooky ghosts.
7 spooky ghost sounds out of 10. 7 oohs out of 10. Gameplay is really simple. Like I said, you only have so many ghost powers. The biggest part of the gameplay is solving the mysteries that happen throughout it. You see in the video that we're watching, he's he's like checking out the crime scene, looking around, gathering evidence, gathering clues.
Yeah, this kind of looks like Heavy Rain, like esque gameplay, like working the crime scene and stuff.
Yep, definitely. It's a lot like
or LA Noire, I should say.
LA Noire, yes, that's a perfect example. And that was the most fun to me, was doing this stuff. There was definitely, by the end of the game, it became sort of this rote type thing that you've been through so many times. You know how to do it. You know what you're looking for. And there were some clues also that were just really hard to find. They're just hidden in like the corner, and it wasn't intuitive. I basically would just walk around the room until I stumbled into the clue. There are stealth portions where you have to hide from demons by like hiding in so the other ghosts in the game will like teleport away and leave residue, and you hide in that like ghost residue. That's how you stealth around to kill the demons. If they see you, they're the only thing that can kill you. I died a few times. It wasn't particularly hard. They're really easy to fool. It clearly is not. They don't want you to die. The point of the game is not to die.
I did read that the game was pretty easy. Are there difficulty settings that you can set to like maybe challenge yourself more?
I didn't see any. I don't remember any off the top of my head. I didn't go searching for them.
Okay.
That said, I don't know how there would be, having played it.
Okay.
There's no. Maybe if what they did was they made it so like you could never get seen by a demon instead of being able to run away from them. But it's just not something that I feel would contribute a lot. There are collectibles in the game to find as you go that unlock like ghost stories. Each section of the game has their own collectibles. You go into the police station, there's like a bunch of ghost guns to find. Like you get them all to what it is it's not like a ghost gun that you take and like pew 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 pew
shooting ghost bullets.
It's like it's like a remnant of a memory. Okay. And you collect all the memory remnants and unlock the full memory. I never ended up collecting all of any set. They're hidden really well, which is not a good. They're hidden too well, in my opinion. There was just so many. Some of them would be like you'd be in the location, and it would be like, okay, you need 15 of these items, and it's like I'm not gonna hunt through a giant graveyard for 15 like sets of whatever I'm finding. It was just too much, and especially when they're not easy to find. Not that I wanted them to be super easy, but like they were really, really, really hidden. So and it wasn't worth it. You didn't get much from it other than story. There's no new game plus or anything. You can't continue your game after you beat it.
So it really doesn't have any replayability.
Yeah, the closest it comes to replayability is that the collectibles are semi-cumulative. When you start a new game, they'll all be repopulated. But if you collect the ones you didn't collect the first time through, you'll unlock the achievement. Like if you only collect the ones you missed, you'll unlock the achievement.
Like so you won't necessarily like unlock that section of story. Like if you get all 50, like
right.
But if you get the ones you didn't, okay.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah, it's not a lot of replay value, which was disappointing because I liked it a lot. I wanted to keep playing. So I would give the gameplay a 6.
Okay.
A 6. Ooh, out of 10. Sound. It was standard. I don't really have a lot to say about it, honestly. Sound wise, it sounded good. I guess I'll give it a 7.
Okay, like nothing stood out. Like
yeah, I guess technically I should probably give it a 6 if nothing stood out. It was better than average, but like nothing really was like amazing about it. And the one big gripe was viewers probably don't know this, but I went to college in Salem, Mass. And no one in the game had an accent, which was really like it's a little thing, but it's like you would have an accent. You would have one if you lived in Salem, and no one had one. I can let the fact that the town didn't look like Salem in any way go. Like it having come from like Infamous, where they modeled the whole game after Seattle picture perfectly, to this where it was Salem in name only.
Yeah,
was a big disappointment.
I have a question for you when we get to graphics. So
okay, so that's really all the stuff for sound.
Okay,
so I give sound a 6.
Okay.
What is your graphics question?
How what you just said for Infamous, how well did like the city and the environments represent Salem, Mass?
Terribly.
Terribly.
If I had to rank that, it would be a 0 out of 10. 0 means
Ugh.
it sucks. Yabadoshi, I want you to know it's not a bad game by any means. The graphics are nice. They're really good graphics.
The spirit looks really cool.
Yeah, the effects of like the ghosts moving around and stuff is a really cool effect. Moving through the walls and stuff, you leave this like ghostly residue where you move through them. It's a really cool effect. Everything looked really crisp. The lights played really nicely. It's, you know, graphically it was good. I was really, really disappointed that the game didn't look like Salem. That was a big thing for me, having grown up there. I was like, I'm gonna know where I'm going. I'm gonna know where all these little like secrets are. I'll know how to get to the like Hawthorne House, and I'll know how to get to the Judgment House and all these cool places. And it was just not a representation of Salem at all. So I will give the graphics a 7. I'll say, because it was really nice, but they just didn't try as far as representing town.
You would think like that. Like I would think that would be an issue. Like a lot. Like maybe on like the PS2 era or something.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Now that so many games are doing like almost 1-to-1 representations of cities, like especially if it's going to be a city like that has so much, like
so much history.
Yeah.
And it's not a big city.
Yeah, it's not a big city either.
Yeah.
Salem's tiny.
And the areas that the game covers, it's even smaller. You don't go to that many places in Salem. There's no reason that they couldn't have more accurately
Mapped it out.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a disappointment. Fun-wise, the game was a lot of fun. I did play it hard 3 days in a row, not because I wanted to review it, but because I was enjoying it. The fact that I completed it was just like
I was surprised you completed it so quickly.
Was
it too quickly?
I would say, given that there's no replayability, it was too quickly.
This is a $60 title. Like,
yeah, I think it's too much money for what you get.
Well, okay. Here's my next question: do you think the story could do you think it ended like where it needed to? Like, do you think like they might have like skimped a bit, or do you think like the game was long enough for what it wanted to do?
I think it was definitely long enough for what it wanted to do. It felt like the right amount of story. It felt like if this was a movie, you would take out the play time and only have like story time. It would be about 2 hours of like pure story. It was they told the story really well. It felt like an interactive movie in a lot of ways. Would
you have felt better at like a $40 title?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay,
definitely. I would have felt a lot better at $40.
Okay.
It was pretty disappointing that there was just so little replayability, especially given the fact that all of the investigation scenes are a ton of fun. It's challenging. You have to find all the clues, and then you have to piece together the answer with those clues. There are parts where you have to influence people's decisions by choosing out of the clues. You remind people of certain things or make them do certain things. There are parts where you have this poltergeist power where you can turn on electronics.
That's pretty cool. So that's like Ghost Trick.
Yep, and you'll use that to kind of move people around. Like someone will be across the room and you'll turn on a TV and they'll cross the room to turn the TV off.
Yeah, you'll like Patrick Swayze them to like the pottery urn, and then you can like rub their shoulders.
Exactly. It's, oh my love. That plays during all the credits, actually. But so it was a lot of fun. The fact that it didn't have New Game Plus or continue your stuff to find, I don't know. It was a disappointment, but I will give it a 7 for fun because it was fun. I just wanted it to be more fun.
Okay, I mean 7's not a bad score.
Yabadoshi in the chat said it best. It's not bad. I just expected it to be more.
Yeah, for $60. I mean, I haven't played it, so like I just like what you're saying, like where it felt like it was long enough, like it was as long as it needed to be.
Yep.
I hate when I'm playing games and they're like they end and I'm like, there's more to tell here. Like, I hope you're not saving this for a sequel that's also going to be that short.
Exactly. Overall, I would say the game, I would have felt better about it at a $40 price point. At $60, I am being more critical of it.
Yeah.
but I think that's warranted. I think you need to be. If you're paying $60 for something, you want $60 worth of value. It just
with
wasn't
no replayability.
Exactly. Overall, I'll give it a 6. I was gonna give it a 5 earlier. I'll give it a 6. I'll be nice because I did have a lot of fun with it, and it's a cool concept. I'm looking forward to. They didn't leave it open for a sequel, which is a disappointment because I want them to do more with this idea.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they will. I don't know.
Well, what if they did like a different character, like obviously different character because his story ends, but like different murder, but like same like phenomenon happens. Like you're like, I gotta solve this. Like, would you be okay with that? Like if there was like Murdered Soul Suspect 2, but it's a completely different cast in a different setting. Like
I honestly don't know. I don't know if at that point I would be like, really, like same game. I don't know. It's okay. It could go both ways. I had a lot of fun with it, and it would feel sort of cheap to me to do a sequel when they clearly didn't intend to do one. It's disappointing that they didn't want a sequel, but I think they need to stick with that decision. Because I don't want to play the same. I don't want to play another game that's the same game. If I was continuing the story, continuing my experience with those characters and stuff, I would be totally great with it. I don't want just another game that's
the next game's going to be called Ghost Cop.
Murdered Soul Cop.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall I'll give it a 6. It definitely merits a rental. If you want to wait a little bit and get it.
I bet it'll be on the Steam summer sale.
Yep, it'll probably definitely be on the Steam summer sale.
Yeah. This one might drop quick.
I think it's worth it. $30 to $40 in that price range. I would recommend it. So right now I give it a wait. I give it a play eventually. At 6.
Not bad. So that was episode 10. Like, we're back. It's awesome.
We're back!
I'm definitely excited to start doing this weekly again. Next week, I don't know what day we're doing it yet. I'm shooting for Tuesday, but I don't know. We'll have to discuss that. Check below down in this area for to follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, all that jazz. That's where you can get our updates. We have a Twitter. I think it's all down there. If it's not, I will update that tonight. Yeah. Do you have any closing comments?
No, I'm just happy to be back. Thanks to everyone for tuning in, watching us. It's a new format. We're still getting used to it.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of changes. I just realized my light's off, so I'm like all spooky and.
Well, it's perfect for Soul Suspect.
Yeah, it's good for the review. So I'll have a nice backdrop or something going on, so I won't look like a spooky ghost.
I'll save the ramble for next week. All the self-promoting. We don't need to. We're still getting everything back together and everything. We got really excited to do this for E3, so we wanted to come out strong. But hopefully we'll see you guys in not even a full week. We'll see you guys.
Yep, for our E3 wrap-up show.
Yep.
And then we'll talk about our predictions and see who was right, who was wrong. Thank you guys for watching. We are your weekly 1-hour video game talk show.
Thanks, everybody. Good night. Good game.